I'm Tim with the Offering Magazine. I'm here with Sideman 1349. First off, how's the tour going so far for you guys?
It's been good for us this far.
Yeah.
We've been out for about 2 weeks. Good shows, good attendance at the shows. It's a good package of bands with us and Origin, Wolfhammer and Abyss Dawn. So we have a bit of death metal and a bit of black metal. So it draws a good crowd here in the US.
Okay, sounds good. I know in Chicago here you're up against a sold-out Behemoth show tonight, which is...
Behemoth and Cannibal Corpse, as I gather, which both bands are good friends of ours, so of course it's a bit shit to go up against them, right? But
did you guys run into them at any other dates in the tour?
No.
Oh, that's good at least.
But I mean, it's okay.
Yeah, it's competition, right? Friendly competition.
Friendly competition, and let's face it, the blackest of the black metal crowd will still be here, I guess.
I agree. All right. Any cool stories or horror stories or anything happen on the tour so far?
I'm not going to share anything about what happens on the tour.
All right, so about 6 months ago, I believe it was, you released Massive Cauldron of Chaos. What can you tell us about that?
Well, it's our 6th album, and for many, how can I say it? We always try to top the previous album, right? For 1349, we don't want to release an album just to release an album because it's been so long. We do a new album when we know that we can top the previous one. Oh. Because we don't want to release just another album, we want to make something better and progress. And this time around we felt it was time for a bit of more trash and a bit more groovy stuff than we have done before. I mean, we've been a one-trick blasted pony for some time, according to some people. And we've changed it up a bit. We've always evolved and progressed, but we've of course kept it brutal and old school, because this is why we do 1349.
Right.
But we found now some more room to take back the trash that was very present in the earlier albums, not so much in the later stuff. So it was good to reclaim that and do trash the 1349 way, which is a fist in the face.
Well, it's good you're keeping the original style. So many of the older black metal bands are becoming more and more progressive to the point where it's not even black metal anymore.
People do what they need to do, you know.
Right.
I mean, let's face it, I don't necessarily want to do the same thing I do now as I did when I was 17, right? 20 years ago. So, of course, there's change, but 1349 has always been about doing black metal, right? Okay. Doing black metal the way we think black metal should be, and black metal should not be prog, right? It should be black. So we keep it stylistically clean, although we draw influences from wherever, but we still keep it black metal.
All right, sounds good. Tell me about the artwork you guys are using on this new album, and who designed it and all.
It's a promising Norwegian artist named Johannes Høie, who did the artwork for the album and for our shirt designs and stuff. I didn't really have any contact with him. It was our vocalist, Ralf, who did all the contact. He just came and said, I found this artist who does great stuff. And he shared with us all the pictures and designs and ideas he had. Oh, yeah, it's fucking cool.
Yeah, it did look really cool.
Siri not available. Connect to the internet.
What she said.
Exactly. All right, so you guys just played 70,000 tons of metal on the cruise ship. How'd that go for you guys?
Well, it's a cruise ship. I mean, when you kind of get away from the absurdity of being a black metal band on a cruise ship, then of course, I mean, it was great to be on a boat, to eat as much as you want, drink, have fun with your friends. I mean, there's lots of bands there that we know, so
probably a bit warmer than here too, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it was January in Norway, so I mean, it was 1 week where I didn't have to mow snow.
All right.
I mean, it was great fun, and I mean, the shows were good. There was lots of people there, good crowd. I mean, it was a ship full of metal people after all, so I mean, it was good. It was just very absurd because I'm not the kind of person that would go on a cruise at any time of my life. No.
So was that your first time doing one of those boat?
Oh yeah,
tours?
That was my first time on a cruise ever. But I mean, hey, I got paid.
Hey, good fun, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. How many sets did you guys get to play on that?
Two. One on the road to Jamaica and one back. So,
okay.
So we played 2 different sets.
All right, sounds good.
had one kind of old school necro set and one more.
Oh, cool. So you actually did 2 different sets.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we knew it was the same people coming
Right.
both ways, so we should give them something different.
Oh, well, that's really cool. What's in the future for 1349?
Well, we have to finish this tour.
Wow.
Then we go back to Norway and we have the Inferno Festival.
Okay.
And I think at the same time as the Inferno Festival, we will release our second beer, the Pale Ale. We did a 1349 Black Ale at 13.49%, as you're probably aware of. So we'll make the Pale Ale at 6.66%, which we will release at Inferno. Then we are working on another tour getting back here to the States.
Alright.
Around summertime months, something like that. The details are not set in stone yet, so I
Okay.
can't really say exactly when, but we're coming back to the US
Alright.
as soon as possible and do another round, because now we only did the lower bars. There were no Canada dates, there was no Seattle.
Okay.
This was just a short kind of warm-up round for this year. We hope to be back in the States again, because let's face it, this is a great country to tour in. It's good crowds here. We have toured here enough that people start to recognize us. It's 1349, let's go check it out. People, I don't know, they seem to expect that we come here, right? Since we've been here almost every year now for almost 10 years. So people are expecting us to be here, and we don't want to disappoint. We love being here. We love touring the States.
Oh, it's nice you guys do come, because there are still a few of those original black metal bands that don't make it out here ever.
Yeah, and I think Norwegian black metal bands in general don't really tour the States that much. You get, I'm trying to think now. I know Emperor was over here doing just a few shows.
Right. I think that was like 12 years ago now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't really pay attention anymore, no.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, apart from them, I don't. Enslaved tour.
Yeah,
I
Slave
think
comes
they
through.
tour regularly over here.
Yeah, we see them regularly. They're actually coming to town in a couple of weeks. I believe.
Oh, yeah, really? We'll say hi to the guys.
Oh.
Apart from that, I don't really Mayhem. Do they tour?
Every once in a while, you
Yeah.
see them come through.
I
I
guess
think that's about it for
Yeah.
Norwegian ones anyway. There's a
Yeah, I mean,
couple others, but-
Valtein is here all the time.
Yeah, they're here all the
They've
time.
been good.
Okay.
But they're Swedish.
Yeah, Marduk tours here every
Yeah,
once in a while.
yeah, we toured
Swedish.
with them actually 3 years ago. It was. We did around with them. They're good guys.
We saw Mortal once, I know.
Yeah.
Once, well, actually twice, I think, now in like 20 years or something. But
No, I mean, think Norwegian black metal bands in general don't really tour the States much. I think it's us and Enslaved in general that are active here.
well, general black metal question then: how do you view the black metal scene as it is right now? You know, it's had its ups and downs over the years, so
Yeah, well, the thing is, when it comes to the scene, I mean, in the early 90s, there was an actual kind of scene because it was a close-knit group of people who were actually laying out ground rules for things, and this is how things should be. Well, with the death of Øystein Aarseth, that kind of marked the end of black metal as a scene for me, because that whole group, I mean, members of it are still around, right? But there is no kind of control in the same way. I mean, Øystein would call people up and say, your band fucking sucks, stop or we kill you, right? You don't have that shit going on anymore,
right.
for better or for worse.
Actually, that still happens in Guatemala, I'm told.
Yeah, well, they're a bit more hardcore down
Yeah.
there, I give them that. So the scene as such has kind of grown beyond what I would consider a scene as such, and I mean, 1349 was a result of that we thought black metal was going in the wrong direction from what we felt black metal should be, right? But at the same time as we started doing that, we also disconnected in a way from what's going on around us because we wanted to do our own. And as such, we don't really follow a scene. I mean, we know all the bands, all
Right.
that stuff, of course. I mean, we travel, we do shows, but I don't have this scene feeling that I had in the early 90s. That feeling is lost. But I mean, there are bands out there that are new, at least in my ears, that are doing interesting stuff. So there are still, I mean, bands pop up all the time, and I don't pay attention in the same way as it did in the early 90s, so it gets a bit hard for me to talk about
I understand.
a scene as such.
Well, you gave a very good opinion on it, so.
Yeah.
But that's about all I have right now. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans or anyone else out there?
Okay, that's interesting. I'll just say, Hail Satan, see you on tour.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.